Okay, welcome back to game number 3 between Infamous Young and 16 Anos. Game 1, 16 Anos had a good early game lead. Infamous Young brought it back, getting a good rampage up on the Juggernaut. 16 Anos managed to bring it back after that, killing the Jugger off to the buyback, instant cheaping him or hexing him before he could, he could even spin or do anything when he blinked in. They won the game. Game number 2 seemed to get off on a very similar track. 16 Anos having a good early game lead. The Luna from Infamous Young starting to come back. Bought back in one of the fights. Going in and dying. And I thought exactly the same thing that happened in game 1 was going to happen in game 2. However, that crit on the Kunkka. Killing 2 heroes instantly. The Ursa jumping the Kunkka after that. Being the Shadow Demon, I just have to give props to the Shadow Demon there. I think it was 3 times. Banishing him. Ursa couldn't do anything. Coming back, Ursa didn't have ulti. Ursa died. I think he bought back. Came in again. Something down that line. Just so much happened there. But the banishments or the, from the Shadow Demon just kept that Ursa. It's late. And it's been long games. I don't even want to know how the players feel. But it just kept that Kunkka alive with the Rapier just long enough for the Kunkka to get another couple crits off. And they actually won the game after all buybacks had been expended from the side of 16 Anos. Taking us to game 3. And here we are. Who's going to win? Let me know in chat who you guys think, who you guys want to win, who you guys think's going to win. And if your heart and your mind say 2 different things, let me know. Heart says this, mind says something else. But honestly, it could go either way, and I think if game 1 and game 2 has anything or any indications regarding this, it's all going to come down to diebacks again, because both games 1 and game 2, that is exactly how it went. Infamous Young, they banned out the Grimstroke as well as the Tusk. That Tusk, oh my word, the Tusk caused so much problems for them in game number 2, just constantly jumping in. And I mean, that's why the Tusk and the Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern was the reason why they lost game number 1, in my opinion, MVP. And that Tusk, if it was not for the end, for the Kunkka and the Shadow Demon, I think the Tusk probably could have walked away with MVP of game number 2 as well. But wait, we see pauses. Oh, misclicks. Sorry. But yeah, the Tusk as well as the Winter Wyvern being banned out here by Infamous Young. Keeper of the Light, Dazzle, as well as the Magnus being banned out by the side of 16 Anos. Keeper of the Light and the Magnus, AoE controllers. So they don't want... You can clearly see game number 2 went the same way. 16 Anos played in-your-face heroes. Constantly fighting, wanting to jump in and get that pick off. And then after that, they would either capitalize on cooldowns or they would fall back and farm. And then as soon as they see someone a little bit out of position, they would run, go for the pick off again. And if you have heroes like Keeper of the Light and like Magnus there that can disrupt that quick team jump in, or 3 or 4 heroes jump in, get the kill, it makes life difficult for them. And that's why they ban those heroes out specifically. Infamous Young pick up the Brewmaster yet again. Is it going to be a support Brewmaster or core Brewmaster? We don't know. I felt like the support Brewmaster was a bit lackluster for them. In game number 2, I might just have been missing a lot, which is possible. Keep in mind, I am solo casting right now, so I do miss a lot of the smaller things as I try and just cast and make it entertaining for everyone. I mean, you guys have your own eyes, so you can see a lot of things that are happening as well that I'm not covering. Lich being picked here by Infamous Young. I do like the Lich pickup. It is the same technically as the Magnus and the Keeper of the Light. It's a team fight zoner. And that goes to counter the way that 16 Anos has been playing in game 1 and game 2. Rubik and Axe being picked up here by 16 Anos. Who actually played in game 1? It's been so long, I can't even remember. Phoenix being banned out by Infamous Young as well as the Arc Warden. Arc Warden, of course, being a major having a major contribution or being a major contributor to 16 Anos' win in game number 1. Luna being banned out here by 16 Anos as well, and they're moving into their last ban. Taking up some time actually right now. thinking a little bit more about this, they ban out the Morphling, the hard carry. And I have to say, Infamous Young's carry, except for the diebacks, he's been shut down early on, but he's come back so quickly. And I want to see if that's going to be the case in game number 3 again. What's the next pick going to be here? I'm so surprised we haven't seen a Lone Druid pick up yet, or even banned, because before the South American qualifier started, Lone Druid was 5th on the most picked and banned hero in the entire qualifiers, global, the entire global qualifiers so far, with an 84.6% pick or ban rate. 15 times being banned out in the first phase, twice in the second, 0 in the third, and being picked up 4 times in the first and once in the second phase. Only having a 40% win rate though, but 5 games out of being picked up out of the total 17 games being banned. It just shows the power of the Lone Druid. But I don't know if it's actually a hero that fits with any of these two teams in the way that they play. 16 Anos, what do they decide to pick up? Going deep into their time right now. Wanting to make sure this is do or die. Let's actually have a look at who actually won the other games. Undying being picked up here by 16 Anos. Okay. So Pain versus Playmaker is still ongoing right now. I'll see if I can get a result for you guys later. Or if you guys in chat know who won game 1 or game 2, please let me know, because I really want to know what's going on with the Playmaker versus Pain games. If it's a 2-0, if it's going also running over to a 2-1. The problem I have with the Undying is, well, I mean, that's also, I think, why they banned the Morph. I really just like picking up, personally, like picking up a Morph whenever there's an Undying. Because you can just waveform in, replicate the Undying, drop a Tombstone, get a couple of decay stacks going, beef yourself up, and then whenever they take you down low, when you already have a lot of HP, and you have a Tombstone that you can heal, and you can heal your teammates, and you can do damage, and then you just zip back into Morph, and everyone's on half HP, you waveform, get a shotgun or 2 off, and you win the fight. It sounds a lot easier than it actually is to do, but that's just something that I feel, I mean, I really like Morph for that. The problem with Undying is, towards the later stages of the game, he falls off heavily. He always has, and I don't see any massive changes that makes that any different. I mean, he does have an ability rework with his flesh golems, no longer amplifies damage, slow is not constant, AoE. I mean, it helps. It really helps, but I still don't rate Undying as a heavy late game hero. Just putting it out there. Ursa being picked up here by Infamous Young and followed up very quickly by Lina. Lina was banned out in both games at the last pick phase. So that's going to be 16 Anos' mid lane. What is in the Batrider? Okay, so Brewmaster, Lich, Ursa, Batrider. Most likely going to be a pos for Brewmaster again. Could be a pos for Bat. Could be a mid Bat. I actually saw that today. It's been years since I saw a mid Bat, and then I saw one today as well. So Batrider, Ursa, Batrider being able to blink in forward, lasso someone, Ursa being able to just destroy that person very quickly. I mean, you can even destroy an axe, however tanky he is with that combo. But if you can jump in and actually get a pick, or, you know, jump in on the Luna, not the Luna, the Lina, I actually rate it. 16 Anos decided to ban out the Pugna, same thing they banned out in game number 1. And let's see, I mean, it has to be a carry that Infamous Young bans out right now. And what is that carry going to be? Is it, I mean, I doubt it's going to be a Meepo, PA, possibly Faceless Void, maybe not because of the Axe and the Undying, could be. There's a lot of possibilities coming in here. But you need something that can actually go toe-to-toe with Ursa in some way or form. Monkey King maybe for the side of 16 Anos. I actually like a Monkey King for them a lot. Because you have the axe. Okay, PL was banned out. If I was 16 Anos, I would pick up a Monkey Core. You have the axe that jumps in. You have the Undying, the slow. You'll be able to get your Jingu stacks up. If you already have them and axe calls, getting your Boundless Strike, crits going down. I really rate that. But we'll see what they do. Infamous Young, it's their final pick. Are they going to pick up a mid-hero here? Or is it going to be Batrider running mid? I don't know. Raylock210 in chat saying, or in Twitch chat saying, go Young. So seems like, and I also saw quite a few people rooting for Infamous Young when they won Game 2. Are there any 16 Anos supporters in the chat? Let me know. 30 seconds left to pick. Let me quickly take a sip of my coffee before it gets too cold. Heading down to the final 10 seconds before it hits reserve time. Infamous Young really taking their time here. I mean, they've been playing quite well. All of the teams have been playing quite a lot of games up until this point. So I think they're all tired. And it's a Tinker. Tinker has been banned versus Infamous Young. I think out of the 4 games that I've called so far today, I think 2 of them, maybe even 3, Tinker has been banned up versus Infamous Young. And Anti-Mage. I actually... Yeah, okay. Golden Basher is Anti-Mage. I like it, I like it. My most played here on my other account as well. Always been a fan of Anti-Mage since TI2 Burning. That was actually what got me into playing a lot more Dota. Like, instead of just having the game but not really playing it. After watching Burning on the Anti-Mage, I don't know why. It was like mesmerizing just to watch him play. Lots of people found it boring just to see. But it's sort of therapeutic that you can just watch him and see how clinical he was with the hero. And I think that's what drew me into Dota, is watching him just play that Anti-Mage. And seeing all of the small tweaks and tricks and just everything he did with it. So I'm always keen for an Anti-Mage, even if it's a farming game. If there's an anti in there, I'm happy. Pain beats Playmaker 2-0 and X-Pain 1202. Thanks for the updates, Angry ZTP. Much appreciated. And we're about to head into game number 3. And a typical pause coming through here for the final game I think I'm casting tonight. Well, not I think. I know. The final game I'm casting tonight. Infamous Young versus 16 Anos. Let's quickly check what's happening here. Burns, doesn't it? Yeah, well, Lina, Anti-Mage, Burning, you know, Kappa. Let's actually update the Twitch. Okay, Twitch has been updated.
Is it spring already?
Nope, it's not spring here in South Africa. It is summer. South African caster, SA caster, casting South American qualifiers, SA qualifiers. Both SAs, but different regions. Gotta love it. Anti-Mage, Undying, Rubik, Axe, and Lina. Like, game number 2, I really liked the draft coming in from Infamous Young. It was more all-rounded draft. I think 16 Anos got away with a lot. Well, a lot more than they should have. Otherwise, it probably would have been a walkover if the Luna actually managed to get farm early on. This game, though, I like the draft coming in from 16 Anos. I like that. Well, I'm being biased because of an Anti-Mage. That's pretty much it. I'm just letting everyone know here. But they have an Axe and an Undying that can frontline. They have the Lina that can put out a lot of nuke damage. And then they have the Anti-Mage that can jump in halfway through the fight and clean up with, of course, the Rubik, the Arcane Supremacy, which does help. Versus Infamous, they have a Lich, so it does sort of help out versus the melee heroes that Infamous have. Not that Infamous, that 16 Anos has. So Lich will help significantly with that. The Ursa, though, if this goes late, Anti-Mage will... I mean, the lineup of 16 Anos, I think, destroys the Ursa. Sure, you have your 25, you have your 80% status resistance, but the damage that's still going to be put out is, I think, too much. You have the Tinker, which... Okay, this I like. The Tinker can split push and can keep the game... How can I say... Can keep Infamous young in the game if they start falling behind. Brewmaster, we'll have to see how this goes this game. And the Batrider, I mean, both are good. I just like 16 Anos' draft more because they have an anti-mage. Okay, start rolling.
Magic is an abomination.
No, you don't even have a single... Oh, okay, yeah. That explains it, that explains it. However, let's have a look here at the anti. Come on. There you go. There you go. Fully stacked out anti-mage. Fully kitted out anti-mage. Game 3 is underway right now. 2 bounties to Infamous, 2 bounties to 16 Anos. Even a piece. Beastmaster is here solo on the bottom lane right now. It is going to be Lich. Ursa on the top lane. Batrider will be coming in towards the bottom lane to help out Infamous young here. And Anti-Mage actually being sent on the bottom lane. So they read this on the side of 16 Anos quite well. No one actually being sent to the top lane. Just a little axe being sent to cut the creep wave. And let's have a look. Game is started. It's going to be difficult for the AM up against the Brewmaster as soon as Brewmaster starts getting his Cinder Brew up. As well as the Drunken Haze. And the Batrider Sticky Napalm. Like all around, it's just going to be difficult. Axe doing axe things, cutting the lane up completely. 3 stacks up of Sticky Napalm onto the Undying. No sticks up just yet. No sticks up for the Anti-Mage either. So Batrider just getting away with Sticky Napalm stacks everywhere. Decay, double decay. There you go. 24. Oh, the decay stacks. Oh my word. Yeah, he'll be okay with these 3 Sticky Napalm charges. I mean, considering you have a 488 HP Batrider, he's okay. Oh, 6 charges. He might actually... Yeah, he has to be careful that it doesn't jump too high. Right. I think we have to just focus on this bottom lane. This is where most of the action is going to be coming from. Just, well, Axe has to be careful. Is he just going to TP out from this? Or, nope, he's staying. There's the magic stick up. We'll be sending a magic wand down to him shortly. And top lane is going to be a solo Rubik, so to speak. So playing extremely greedy here, I actually like it. From the side of Infamous. But let's see what 16 Anos can do. And I missed the first blood. I knew I was going to come here on the axe. He was hovering down extremely low the whole time. And 300. Oh, okay. All the stacks have now gone off. Only a couple stacks left on the Brewmaster. And after this, there's not a lot of mana up on the Undying. He does have a magic stick, but no magic wand. So he will be able to give himself a little bit of mana, but it's not going to be enough to keep up the constant harassment with the decay stacks. And there's the Firefly. They want to go in onto the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage will just blink out of that one. More decay stacks up here. And I think they'll be okay with this. Anti-Mage sitting 10 and 1 versus Ursa 16 and 5. Axe also sitting 10 and 0. Of course, having 0 denies, he's just, well, cutting creep rate all the time. Can they get anything done on this? Nope. Might actually be onto the Lich. Lich is in a lot of trouble right now. One more hit needed. 16 Anos getting a return kill. So it's a 1-4-1. And here comes the tips, boys.
Watch your
5 charges up on the Undying.
6 feet down.
He's okay. He has 16 decay stacks. Sitting on 1,000. Well, now a little bit less. But it was 1,000. Oh boy. Oh boy. Can they do anything about this Batrider? Batrider. Well, he does get the kill and might actually try to go for more. 3 stacks up on the anti-mage. And yeah, that's the problem with having 6 or 7 stacks. Just as I was saying, yeah, he'll do okay. He just gets dove upon by the Batrider. Quick and easy kill. I have to actually change my... I have to remove this. Sorry, guys. The network info. I'll see if there's a little bit of a lull time in a bit. Axe might be in a lot of trouble right now. Lich coming in and Axe is going to not die. Rubik running in there, getting a quick zap off, making sure that the creeps are there, and might actually just sacrifice himself here for the Axe. While, yeah, he's gonna die. And Axe is just running in. I'm not quite sure I like this. He might just... He wants to cut the creep wave, but in doing so, might actually just drop. Let's see if I can quickly turn off the network notifications. Where is that again? Advanced options. Display network info. There you go. It's turned off. Sorry about that one. 3 for 2 currently. And Undying might be in a bit of trouble right now. It has 2 stacks off. Nope, they want to turn around. Gone to the anti-mage. Not quite sure they want to dive this. Anti-mage does not actually have a blink dagger up. Can they turn? Can they get any kind of kills? Anti-mage is in a lot of trouble right now. He does have 10 magic sticks if he decides to use them, and he'll be okay. Just uses up a full salve that was given to him by the Undying. And Anti struggling a little bit with form. Oh. Not Beast Master. Brewmaster drops there. Good rotation coming in here from the Lina. They want to go for more kills. Batrider is in a little bit of trouble. He does not have Firefly getting blocked up here. And who's the kill going to go to? Lina. Double kill for her. We'll just TP straight back to the middle lane. And that puts 16 Anos once again in the lead. Anti-Mage was struggling with farm, but he'll actually be able to pick this up quite nicely right now. Ursa leading the net worth for his team, or not the net worth, the lost hits and lives, 36 and 8. And Axe has to actually be very careful. One more hit needed. Can't actually get the kill on the Axe. One hit though. The jukes are coming through. Not gonna be enough. The A click saving the Ursa, killing the Axe. Ursa's just gonna wrap around. Does of course have tangos. Just eats through, and he'll actually TP down to Shrine. So 4 and 4. A lot different kind of gameplay, a lot different start than both game 1 and game 2. So going to be interesting to see what Infamous Young can do, and if they can capitalize on actually getting a better start than they did on both game 1 and game 2. And how 16 Anos is actually going to respond, considering they had great starts in both the first 2 games. Just farming up some stacks. Slave, and with 1 level up in Fiery Soul, it does help a little bit. Tinker sitting 31 and 12, getting a lot of denies, sitting on level 7, working up towards the Boots of Travel. Oh, sorry, missed that one. And Undying also drops in 1. Infamous Young. Getting a very good start. This is exactly what they needed. And focusing back on the middle lane, working up towards the Boots of Travel is Tinker. Sitting on level 7 versus Lina's level 8. Keep in mind, Lina doesn't have as many denies, but has more lost hits. 6 more lost hits, and also has 3 kills under her name. So, worth it. Mino, Infamous, busy wrapping up to the Lina. One hit the Lina with a slow. And we do see a big push coming in here. 4 heroes going in for the gank on the Tinker. There's the first lift being brought back. The stun, the ulti, the dunk, the everything. Go to sleep, Tinker. And think about what you've done. I mean, like blowing 2 ults as well, but it's on a Tinker, you know, just try and slow down those boots of travels as much as possible. It's just like, yeah. 16 Anos. Having 4 heroes mid though does open up top lane up for the Ursa, as well as opens up a lot more for the Batrider on the bottom lane. And here comes the Lich trying to move on to, well, yeah, this Undying is going to die. I mean, even if he drops his Tombstone, that, you know, that will also just be fed to the side of Infamous Young, and they don't even take the tier 1 tower middle. Maybe not focusing it enough, trying to focus on creeps, etc. But that's a big win for the side of Infamous Young. They could possibly even deny this tower if they wanted to. Meanwhile, Infamous Young got a tier 1 tower on the top lane. So they're very happy right now. Axe, working towards his Blink Dagger, does have a full Vanguard up. So the creep cutting sitting on 69 and 0. I mean, it's completely worth it, but he is in dangerous territory right now. But he TP's out. Good call. Boots of Travel will be up in around 400 gold. Just moving in to get that stack off. And are we going to see an engagement coming in? There's no level 6 up here on the Lich, but he does manage to pop his frost shield. He does do a bit. And when I say a bit, it basically tickles the axe. Ursa does have an invis rune. Is he going to try and just find someone to kill? Who can he actually kill though? Well, most of them. If he doesn't get stunned up, that is. Oh, there's the Boots of Travel coming in from the Tinker as well, and they will manage to maybe get the kill on the Lina, I mean. Oh, that happened as I was busy taking a drink of water and I swallowed it. But getting that kill on the Lina, actually, that's a 450 streak end. So, well, they actually, well, wait. Why's the axe mid? No idea. Getting that pickup on the axe. Okay. Calm down, please. Let me focus. Let me see what's actually happening right now. Anti-Mage also dropping. So, Anti-Mage struggling quite a bit. I mean, if you have a look at the net worth, it's around 11 minutes in. Anti-Mage sitting below the axe. 3,700 versus his counterparts in the Ursa sitting 5,700. So, 2,000 ahead of him. Come on, guys. I want to talk about the game and actually, okay, let's just focus on what's actually happening right now. They want to turn around onto the Lina. Lina does get the stun onto the Ursa right now, but he is enraged. They turn around, go onto the Tombstone as well. Ursa will drop. Anti-Mage does get that kill. Broommaster though, he will be able to run away, but still managing to get a couple of kills. They did drop a few in return. I'm just not going to try. The thing is, I'm solo casting, so most of it is normally just hype. But now I'm trying to actually get into it to explain what's going on and analyze a little bit. But they're not giving me a chance, so screw it. I'm just going to hype it up, play by play. Here we go. Axe sitting around 500 away from his Blink Dagger. That will help their team up a little bit, but the Anti-Mage actually needs to get some kind of farm going. Or just a few items. The thing is, the rest of his team will need to group up and they will need to 4-man push this so that Anti-Mage can actually, you know, just get a little bit down. But it's not going to be enough. Ursa does have his Blink Dagger up. Just jump in forward. Axe, 1-2 hits. Ursa kills him. Quick and easy. Might even move into the rush pit here. Is he going to? Quicken. And it's going to be a slow rush, but hey, I think he'll be 100% okay with that. Rubik building up into the Yule Scepter. Does help a little bit up against the Ursa. Ursa and Ragers, you just Yules him. Can't really do anything, but we do see 16 Anos. They know this. There you go. Tombstone has been dropped outside of the rush pit. But look at Ursa's positioning. It's just around here, so The tombstone doesn't actually do anything now. There you go. It's not wrong. It's like Ursa just like hits it, just like slaps it around and says, no you don't. What level is that tombstone? Level 2. Atomage. Working towards his Battle Fury, but still sitting like a good 2,700 off, which is like a good 5+ minutes for him. Especially being harassed down. And we do see Brewmaster coming in forward. They actually want to go onto the anti-mage right now. And maybe just take down the tower actually. But 16 Anos. There are 4 heroes here in this bottom lane. They do manage to actually get the lift down. The ulti's there from the Lina. Do manage to get enough kills, but yeah. I thought a lot more was going to happen. A lot more hype was going to happen there with the Laguna Blade stuns. Maybe more TPs coming in from the side of Infinite Giant, but they're just like, nah, we don't need to. They TP out very late, right? Or TP in very late, but Tinker, he'll have his blink up pretty soon. And the big thing about the Tinker is if you can actually get the tier 1 towers down, especially on the side lanes, Tinker becomes more potent because he has this entire section to actually work with. Well, technically there. He has that whole section instead of only that part and that part. So you give him like 5 times more space just by taking 2 towers. And that's when Tinkers start becoming scary because you don't know where he's blinking. Oh wait, let's see. 16 Anos, they want to come in for some kind of kill here, some kind of gank. Tinker does scout them out. They do have high ground ward. No, that's actually 16 Anos' high ground ward. And let's see. That Rider having the blink dagger up can... Well, he is pretty much alone right now, so he has to be careful. There's the blink hit from the axe as well as the core. They will have enough command. Well, yeah, they'll have enough damage to just completely blow him up. The Laguna Blade, only level 1, but more than enough. Big thing though is Infamous Young. They're just pushing down the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane. They don't really care about that. Sure, it's a Bat Rider, but Lasso wasn't used. He's back in 18 seconds. So as soon as they get this tier 2 tower, you might actually just see them start grouping up, trying to get a pick up on the likes of the Axe. Maybe kill the Lina as well. Lina doesn't have a Blink Dagger up just yet. Only a Yule Scepter. And I mean, she only has 900 HP. So it's a very quick kill if they do decide to go for it. Anti-Mage. Sitting 16 minutes in, doesn't have his Battle Fury up just yet, but getting close. And the side of Infamous, they're just pushing out together. I mean, this is a completely different team than what we saw in game number 2 or game number 1. This time they actually have the advantage early on. They're pressuring it, they're taking towers, they're trying to secure map control, and they don't want to give the side of 16 Anos any space to farm. And I think that's what they were lacking in both game 1 and game 2, is just to try and put pressure on 16 Anos instead of play from behind the whole time. And with this lineup, they can actually do that. Anti-Mage will have his Battle Fury up soon, but the problem is around... You know, they're going to start putting pressure on the tier 3s pre 20 minutes, pre 18 minutes. And Anti-Mage doesn't have his Battle Fury up just yet. And this might actually even be a tier 3 tower going. There is no Glyph. Glyph is on cooldown, so if they don't do anything about this, this is going to be the first tier 3 tower to fall pre 18 minutes. And 2 more hits needed. There you go. That will actually open up the shrines as well. Oh no, they want more. They want to go in for the full melee racks. They don't even want to focus on the range to just do chip damage. 18 seconds left for the Aegis, so I don't know if they want to push this too much. Yeah, Anti-Mage is just doing what he needs. You know what he needs to. He's just following it up. And they'll decide to back off finally. And here goes... Aegis is reclaimed. They'll decide to back off. Okay, let's have a look here. Anti-Mage's farm is going to start skyrocketing now. He does have his Battle Fury up. We'll start working towards that Manta style. After he gets that, we'll see most likely Basher or maybe a defensive item to try and deal with the magical damage. Maybe a BKB, I don't know. Lina has a Blink Dagger up, working towards that BKB early. Oh, there's the Blink in forward onto the Ursa. Ursa might be in a bit of trouble right now. Laguna Blade used, but is not in time. There you go. Ursa busy running around, busy running away. 80% damage reduction coming through at the exact moment the Laguna Blade flew through. And he's still alive. He will finally drop, but the rest of his team is actually coming in. There's Zuma. Try and focus on the Tinker right now. Tinker's in a bit of trouble himself. Tinker might actually drop from that as well. The Axe Dunk coming in. And it's a 2-for-1 trade-off. It might actually be more. Can they get the kill here onto the Brewmaster? With the Lina, the fiery stacks up. 3 fiery souls up. Yeah. That's going to be 4 heroes down for the side of Infamous Young. Laguna Blade coming through at the exact time that he popped his Enrage, but it just wasn't enough. The rest of his team wasn't there. Yeah, that's what happens when you get caught out as an Ursa. Sure, you're tanky, but it's not going to be enough. Okay. Focus up on Anti-Mage. Has his Yasha finished? Probably have his Manta style up within the next 3 to 4 minutes. Depending on how quickly he farms, if he has any stacks up. And Ursa, I mean, Rosh may respawn in around a minute. That doesn't mean it is going to. What can the Ursa as well as the Tinker actually do at this, well, to put pressure on the side of 16 Anos right now? Start taking over the jungle, putting deep wards down maybe, and that's exactly what they're doing with these, just to try and scout out the movement. And they're moving into the shrines, trying to limit the movement as well as the map control that 16 Anos has. But Anti-Mage, he's just going to be farming. This is exactly what Anti-Mage needs to do to, you know, try and get back into the game. Rubik has a Yule Scepter up, so that's 2 Yules up for, you know, to try and counter up the Ursa. Ursa enrages, you Yules him. He can't do anything. By the time he comes back down, 2.5 seconds. His enrage only lasts for 4 seconds, so he enrages. Give it a second or 2. Pop Yules. And let's see. Infamous Young. They're grouped up here on the bottom. The entire side of 16 Anos is here as well, but they decide to back off. Rubik going back middle, Anti-Mage farming back in the jungle, and they'll be happy with that. I think that's probably the way that it's going to go until someone takes the next rush. Is just pushing out the side lanes, letting the Anti push out the side lanes, letting the Tinker push out the side lanes, and they'll be okay. Here's a smoke move coming in. What's up? Might actually scout someone. Anyone out though? They saw the fire coming in there and instant blinks from the Anti-Mage. He'll just TP out. Yeah, wasted smoke coming in from the side of Infamous Young. Meanwhile, Lich on the bottom lane will try and delay any kind of further push, but the side of 16 Anos, they're just hiding in the trees, and the Undying is there as well, so this might just be a full-on bait coming in. Axe is just running in forward. There's an ultimate. Nope, Lich is not doing anything, but yeah, Axe, oh, that's a bait, alright, but yeah, you pretty much baited yourself to death right there, and that also does open up Rush.
This very much.
Tips coming in right now.
It's
The thing though is 16 Anos knows Rosh is up. Invisren, this is actually... Are we going to see the steal? Are we going to see the steal coming through here? Rubik. Sneaky plays. His Invis is about to wear off, but will it be before or after Rosh? No, Rosh might actually... I think Rosh is going to drop before that. And there's the lift up. I don't think it's too late. I mean, it's too early. Oh, unfortunate to Rubik. Did he actually? Nope. Yeah. He needed to wait one more hit, and unfortunately the Ursa just decided to wait a little bit on that hit.
I almost feel bad.
I almost feel bad, yeah. It would have been so epic. But Ursa busy building in towards his Aghanim Scepter. And I mean, with the Aegis here, this is their time to start pushing up and maybe just grouping, taking the last tier 2 tower, going for at least a lane of racks. They do have Aegis, they do have cheese up. Tinker, of course, can just jump to them anytime he needs to. But Anti-Mage has Manta Style, working up towards that Basher. Yep. Working up towards that Basher. After that, into the Abyssal Blade, just trying to control up the Ursa as long as possible. And this is where Anti-Mage starts becoming quite scary. I mean, he farms faster than pretty much anyone in the enemy team. And you need to start taking racks. Because if you aren't, Anti-Mage will. Act still working his way up towards that BKB. Still going to be quite a while, and this might actually just be the high ground push. There's the blink in forward, going straight in onto the Lina. Lina does just drop instantly, gets the buyback off as well. And are we going to see them back out or actually just keep it staying here? They do have the Aegis still up on the Ursa, but he might just want to heal up a little bit before moving forward. Nope. Yeah, they just clear out the creep wave and decide to back off. That's just going to be the Tinker backing off. Oh, it's a big blink in forward here by the Axe, going in towards the Tombstone. Tombstone does drop. And they want to go in for more. Rubik is busy pushing in forward. But it's just going to be whack-a-mole up against this tower. Slow and steady. I mean, can they actually do anything to try and stop this? Anti-Mage is busy farming as much as he can. There's an Aegis as well as a cheese up here on the Ursa. And this isn't rage good. Isn't, well, he overpower. Yeah, no. Decides to back off. I think we'll just be a little bit just waiting for the next creep wave to actually go down. Or do they do a full-on retreat here? Doing quite a bit of damage onto the tier 3 tower. It's quite interesting that they decide to back off now. Aghanim Scepter is on its way here for the Ursa. And I'm just trying to see here. Scepter cooldowns 24 seconds. He'll be able to enrage like the whole time. And they kill off Panda. Why are we still up here top? Rip. F's in the chat to pay your respects to the Panda. I don't think I've seen one Chain Frost yet, but then again, 16 Anos hasn't really been in a position where they can Chain Frost just yet. The Basher is up on the Anti-Mage, so Anti-Mage sitting on 16,000 net worth, considering the bad start he had, only picking up his Battle Fury around the 18-minute mark. Which is 9 minutes ago, and in those 9 minutes he's managed to farm up Manta Style as well as a full-on Basher. But I do hear negation coming through. The dunk is there, and it is going to be onto the Batrider. They want to turn in, they want to go in for more. This is the Chain Frost that I was talking about that they needed earlier on. They do manage to pick off the Axe as well as the Tombstone. Are we going to see any kind of further engagements? The buyback was used by the Batrider. And finally a Chain Frost. Meanwhile, I was talking about the Anti-Mage's fault. And they decide to jump, get a kill on the Axe. Axe has buyback. But you don't really want to buy back if you're an Axe, especially like 27 minutes into the game with only 20 seconds left. And the problem with this is, well, tier 3 tower here has barely been touched, so I think they'll just be okay. But they do decide to jump onto the Anti-Mage. He is sheeped up. There is a full sheep stick up on the Tinker. Just constantly sheep stick. Sheep rearm, sheep rearm. Going in for an early sheep stick. I mean, that's exactly what they need. And an Anti-Mage not actually popping his counter spell. So that blink sheep was just too quick. And with that, he does have buyback. But do you use that on the Anti-Mage though? That's the problem. Come on, guys, take this one. Because that means if you don't kill it, you still do the damage. But it seems like they want to commit. And I think they can. They have an Aghanim Scepter. They have cheese up on the Ursa. The Aegis was just reclaimed, was not broken. And this might be the first state of Rack, 28 minutes into the game. Glyph is used, and they decide to maybe run away. Nope. Oh, yeah. Brewmaster pops his Primal Split just to try and secure this. Uses his Cyclone up on the Axe, making sure that Axe can't actually just blink in forward, get a call onto 2 or more of them. And are they going to move towards the next tier 3 or actually fully retreat? Anti-Mage is still down for 19 seconds. He's not buying back. And this might just be the next tier 3 tower to drop. So having that Aegis. Yeah, they'll just decide to back off and get another shrine. Struvik's struggling a little bit this game. I mean, considering the first 2 games he had where he played extremely well with the Winter Wyvern as well as the Tusk, he had a good early start. He managed to get early items up, but after that he's been, I think, struggling now for the past roughly 15-20 minutes just to get up his Blink Dagger. So he can't move in forward, he can't actually get any good disrupts off. Disrupts meaning, you know, getting a good lift, disrupting the backline, trying to cause a little bit of chaos. Jump in forward, there's lift onto the Ursa right now. He does get rules up as well. The call is there. The Laguna Blade as well. They threw everything at the Ursa, and Ursa finally falls. Now they actually want to move in forward, and that is going to be a dunk onto the Tinker. However, there's a Batrider coming in with a lasso onto the Anti-Mage. Not really sure that's who you want to go, well, who you want to go for. Another stun onto the Batrider. That's 3 heroes down for the side of Infamous Young. And the Anti-Mage just taunting there with, are you even trying? I mean, that's pretty much the worst it could have gone. Oh, wait, no. That's the worst it could have gone for the side of Infamous Young. Having a look at buybacks, there's no buyback up here for the Ursa. This is problematic. Lich does have buyback. No buyback on the Ursa. They do have a buyback up on the Tinker, and no buyback up on the Batrider either, because Bat bought back previously. So this might just be a repeat of game number 1 where they just jump in forward without buyback. And there's the bash onto the Brewmaster right now. Brewmaster does have Primal Split, but it does not actually work. Well, it might have worked if he actually cast it, but he was just bashed up. 16 Anos though decide to back out. I mean, they honestly could have put pressure and possibly taken a full lane of Rat, but they did not know so many buybacks were off, well, were on cooldown. Ursa is back right now. And he needs to make sure to farm that buyback. Otherwise, if that happens once or twice more, this anti will just clean up your entire base. Right now, he does have the full Abyssal Blade working up towards that Linken's, so that he has a double spell block, so to speak. I mean, if your Linken's gets popped, you instantly instantly cast your counter spell. So that you can't, I mean, the Tinker has 2 abilities. I mean, he'll cast Laser, he'll blink in, cast Laser, and then cast South of Ice. But that means Laser will get blocked by Linken's, and if you use a counter spell straight away, Tinker will sheep himself. Next rush is going to be up in around 45 seconds. So a very long respawn timer. And the Ursa, he's just going to wait here, I think. Whoever loses here is out right now. This is the lower bracket round 1. Looking at who won the previous games, I think Pain won the upper bracket game versus Playmaker, and Playmaker beat Infamous Young in the previous game, and Pain, of course, beat 16 Anos as well. It was all 2-0 games. This is the first 2-1 game of the night for the South American qualifiers. Smoke up here for 16 Anos. They want to try and force something. Smoke does get broken right now. Brewmaster does cut up. He uses his primal rage, but can they actually catch anything? There's a storm coming in, or the storm panda coming in. Does not actually get any kind of cyclone off just yet. The hits there. There's the first cyclone. Let's quickly zoom out. Any kind of further engagement. It's just going to be onto a Rubik. So, oh, Rubik. Rubik actually going to get out of this one. Nope. And yeah, the Laguna Blade was actually used there. I think at the Yule Scepter timing as well. So Batrider is still on full HP. They will most likely just head straight into Rod, and this is going to be a refresher shot as well. I think they might just give the refresher straight in to the Brewmaster double primal split. Might. I don't know. Yeah, I'll give it to the Brewmaster. And yep, he just. I heard him use something. Was that maybe the previous cheese that he just used? They have 2 cheeses up right now. Okay. Most likely wait the 45 seconds for the brew all to refresh. And then from there, let's see if 16 Anos can actually do the damage they need to do. They should stop focusing everything on the Ursa because they're blowing the Laguna Blade. But the past few fights, the Laguna Blade has been thrown either on someone that's busy using themselves, or on a overpowered Ursa, or enraged Ursa. Not overpowered. Enraged Ursa, and with that enrage, it's like 80% damage reduction for a couple of seconds. It's not going to do anything. You need to try and get a pick off on the likes of the Tinker, or on the Brewmaster before he pops his ulti. But Anti-Mage, having that full Lincoln Sphere up, does not have buyback, so he doesn't actually want to fight right now. And he's just going to be pushing out bottom, pushing out middle, trying to form up his buyback. Axe right now does have buyback. Let's actually quickly have a look at the buyback statuses. Only people that don't have buyback is Tinker, as well as Anti-Mage, and a cooldown up on the glitch. But engagement on the top lane. The glyph is used, so are we going to see a full-on fight here? The Aegis is there. Bash is actually in his stash right now, but there's the blink in forward, going in onto the Axe right now. Does manage to get the lasso. Anti-Mage comes in, going in onto the Batrider, but Batrider gets used up in the air. Can they get the kill? There's the stun coming in from the Nina as well. And the Anti-Mage blinks in forward, just completely destroys the Tinker. He wants to go in for more. There's another bash onto the Lich. Lich just gets bashed, but he turns around, slows everything down. He will finally fall. 3 heroes in exchange for 0, and well, we asked what can 16 Anos actually do, and they literally showed exactly what they can do. The blink in forward from the bat was perfect. Managed to actually grab, I think it was the axe. They just could not follow up. They stunned the Batrider. Batrider couldn't force off the axe away. Good positioning coming through from 16 Anos, and with that, a lot of gold going their way. Might actually just be able to full buy. Okay, no, not going to full buy the linkers. Just going for Boots of Travel, trying to get the split push game going. But yeah, Anti-Mage greening up that Battle Fury, and with the battle, not with the Battle Fury, the Butterfly. And there's no MKB in sight anywhere close for the side of Infamous. I mean, they're going to have to get a MKB up on the Ursa. That's only going to be after the Abyss. So, 16 Anos, moving in forward. Zoom out to, yeah, I think they'll be okay with that. They decided to back off, do a bit of chip damage. Well, not really, because it's only really lads, but they did force out the glyph, so they know the next time they push, there will be no glyph. And if the side of Infamous Young gets caught out, it might just be a double lane of accident. Just Anti-Mage things. Axe. Next item coming in for him is BKB. So finally getting his BKB up. Looking at the net worth, Axe still sitting quite far down, but 3,000 above his counterpart in the Batrider. Batrider struggling a little bit, does not have a 4-star up, just only a Blink Dagger as well as a Yules. Working in towards that BKB. And we might actually see a fight coming in here. Ursa does want to fight. Yeah, he still has around 50 seconds up on that Aegis, so he wants to move in forward. And here it is. We'll actually get that tier 3. Brewmaster Primal Split also used. And there's a fight breaking out towards the backline. There's a sheep up on the Luna, on the Lina. Lina does, however, use her BKB. The Batrider was the first one to fall. They try and go onto the Lich. Lich, however, does pop the cheese. Can they actually do anything? There's the ultimate coming in from the anti-mage. Doing this quite a bit of damage, but the Ursa, he is straight back. Does manage to pick out. He does not have his enrage up. He does right now, but it's not going to be enough. He did actually have, he could have popped his cheese in. Not quite sure what happened there. The Man of Void just wrecked a couple of people. I'll actually have to have a look on the stream to see what happened there, because I was not focusing anywhere closer at all. He's focusing on here, then they jump back on here. Managed to kill off the Batrider. Cheese was used by the Lich to survive a little bit longer. Chain Frost was also used. And then all I saw was an anti-mage ult going down and a bunch of people dying. So, with that, there is of course buyback on the Ursa if need be, but it's 20 seconds. I'm surprised 16 Anos isn't trying to pressure that out a little bit more, considering they have a double damage run up on the anti-mage. But they're playing it extremely safe. They don't want to push. I mean, 10 seconds then the Ursa. I mean, I would have tried to at least force that buyback up on the Ursa, but all he needs to do is just, oh, what? No, there's the sheep, but the blink in forward from the axe misses the Tinker. And yeah, goes. I would have thought they would have tried to put pressure to force the Ursa buyback and then back out. Try and bait him. But it seems like they're still, anyway, trying to bait him here. And it might actually be on top of the Tinker. Tinker links into the trees. Is there going to be any kind of mutant switch? There's the Ursa. He uses overpower just to try and get ready. I think if the anti-mage actually stayed there a little bit longer, he would have tried to jump the anti-mage, but 16 Anos playing this extremely safe. They will have to fall back to their base soon because their tier 4s will start taking damage. Axe still hanging around here. Big problem is Lina has backed off, so if they do manage to actually catch anyone out, well, Axe actually does jump in forward onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster gets blown up. Can they actually do anything to try and help this out? Lich did use his Chain Frost, and the sheep is down to the Rubik. So Rubik is down. Axe blinked it forward as well with his BKB up. They managed to get another kill, and 2 buybacks coming out here for the side of Infamous Young. However, just Ursa being controlled up. The Yule Scepter is just going crazy right now. They do manage to get the anti-mage kill up finally. But I think that was a double Yule coming in onto the Ursa, and this is going to be the Lina's then as well. One by one, just getting destroyed, getting picked off. I don't know which one really to say. The Ursa, they managed to control the Ursa a little bit, but it wasn't actually enough. Everything looked so good for them, but well, this might just be a push down middle lane. Rush will respawn in 5 seconds. This is an insanely early rush. And a buyback there from the Undead. There's going to be a buyback from that. Honestly, it's the last lane of like full racks. And there you go. Primal Split being used. Multiple buybacks. There is a glyph that's finally going to be popped here by the side of 16 Anos. Let's zoom out and try and catch what's going to happen here. There's the blink in forward by the axe, but it doesn't actually catch on to anyone. But the Ursa turns around. He gets lifted up into the air by the Rubik. He's getting controlled of. The Tinker in the backline is completely dead. And there's the bash coming in. Once again, another Yules onto the poor little Ursa. Ursa's still alive for now, but he is going to actually drop there very quickly. Followed up by the rest of his teammates, just getting picked off one by one. That's the power of the Yules. They just keep on Yulesing. I mean, I'm calling him a poor little Ursa, but he's not really a poor little Ursa. He's the big bad wolf that the side of 16 Anos has to try and control, and the only way they can do that is just pop the Yule Scepter. And it seems like that's exactly what they've been doing. Chain Frost. And no buyback up on the Tinker. No buyback up on the Lich. There's a buyback up here on the Ursa, but that's pretty much it. I think this is game. Batrider just trying to push out the middle lane, trying to cut creep waves to do something. And 16, I know, they're just going straight for end. There's a buyback up here on the Ursa. He doesn't really want to use it because there's 30 seconds left. He will actually have to use it. Can he do anything about this? He does have his enrage if he actually needs to, but he can't really do anything about this. Batrider does buy back. Who do they focus? Who do they actually try and target right now? He does have enrage. He does have a cheese. I would honestly just swap your Vlads with the cheese. And there's the overpower. He's gonna jump in for it. There you go, going in. Then he just gets instantly Yuled up. It's gonna be a second Yule. No, he just gets lifted up this time by the Rubik. And he is getting kited, getting controlled up, getting blown up by the anti-mage. No more buyback for him, but the rest of his team is up. They don't have a grip. They don't have anything else. Can the Tinker actually do this? Can they try and defend this? Two heroes are down here for the side of 16 Anos. They're still trying to attack the tower, but the tower is busy regenerating. Multiple, one buyback coming in for the side of 16 Anos, but another one down, and that is actually going to be the Rubik. How did they survive? How did they actually manage to keep this tower alive? No buyback up for that. Okay, wait. Hold up. No buybacks on 81. If Infamous Young knows this, they can push down mid and end the game right now. They don't need the Ursa to be able to take care of the Lina. They don't. They need the Batrider with Lasso, and he has it up in 2 seconds. Zero buybacks. I mean, at the beginning of the game, I said this is literally going to come down to buybacks and diebacks, because that's how Game 1 and Game 2 have gone down. And the BKB jumped in from the axe. The Batrider this time, he is still alive. Can they actually turn this around? Lina is dead. No buybacks. This is, well, I just thought it's good game for the side of 16 Anos, but no. It's GG's. Infamous Young taking this game. I don't think they're just gonna call the GG's because, yeah, I mean, why would they? It's the last game. But wow, Ancients being destroyed. No buybacks up on anyone, and there's the GG's coming through. I mean, extremely close game 3, extremely close game 2 and game 1. But Infamous Young finally narrowly edging out the victory here. Somehow when that Tinker came back and the damage the Tinker just put out on that last fight around the shrine, I honestly, or not shrine, or like around the ancient, I honestly thought 16 Anos had it. They started focusing maybe on the heroes a little bit too much instead of just trying to end the game right there. But wow, well played to Infamous Young, taking out the victory 2-1 up against 16 Anos. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. My name is RidditZ. I've been solo casting, trying to play by play, not analyzing because then I don't have enough time to do anything else. And I've just been having fun. So I hope you guys had fun watching. Check me out on Facebook. It's RidditZ. And Twitter, it's also just at RidditZ. RidditZ. I'll see you guys again on the flip side.